Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you today and thank you very much for coming out. I'd like to welcome you to the media launch for the Alzheimer Society of the Niagara region for the new building that you passed under construction on the way in here. We started the building in November. We started the campaign, I guess, on a soft note back in September. And it's, as you see, we are coming out of the ground and we are raising the money as we speak. And we are having some fun while we're doing it. And I'd like to all of you to enjoy what's happening throughout the next 5-6 months while we go through this exercise. Special thank you to the Buffalo Sabres and the Sabres alumni. And as you're aware, we have the French connection here today that made the Sabres famous and all of us very proud for a number of years. And I'd like them to stand up as I introduce them: Gilbert Perreault, René Robert, and Rick Martin. And this building that we have set off to erect is the first of its kind in Canada, and I'm going to let it be addressed a little further on. But it is something that I believe all of Canada is watching right now. It is a training resource center for families to understand the disease. I don't know a lot about this. I was asked if I would get involved, and I said yes, as long as there was a bunch of strong team members. And I've been very, very fortunate to have a cabinet that has agreed to sit and be part of this to make this an easy job over the long haul. And you know, to do anything like this, at this point there's no government funding involved in this building. This is money being raised in the Niagara region. Every dollar that's being raised in the region will stay in the region and go towards this center. So it's up to the people of the community and the entire Niagara region to support and be neighborly and friendly to all those in need. And I guess that's what we were all here today to kick off. This building needed a vision. That came from the Alzheimer Society of the Niagara region.
I'm extremely proud of Don and the team that he's assembled to help with this project, and the team that has arrived today to augment that. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and thanks everybody for coming. And you know what happens about people when you bring them together around a vision, and maybe they start off as a team, they end up as a family. And just like a lot of families that start off, they start off in a little small home, and then they understand what they're all about, and then they start adding to their family, and then their family starts getting into more and more activities, and that's what's happened to the Alzheimer's Society. And here we are, a family now with lots of activities, and we're being influenced by lots of activities that are going on. And that's all the research and all of the discoveries about how to care properly for people with a dementing illness such as Alzheimer's and the related dementias. And it's our goal of the Alzheimer's Society to continue to meet our mission of improving the quality of life for people with dementia and Alzheimer's disease in Niagara. And what this new facility, this new innovative facility, will enable us to bring all of that new discovery, all the things that are being developed. We'll actually have a library where we'll be able to put all the books. We'll be able to have rooms and therapeutic programs that can go on so that people with early Alzheimer's can actually come into an incredibly safe environment, one that's been decorated, that's been planned specifically so that it will not upset their new living conditions.
We are very lucky to have a supportive board, and my role today is just to let you know what the need of our community and our society generally is in relation to this particular disease, what this particular problem is. We know that in the Niagara Peninsula we have a population greater than 16.5%, greater than 65 years of age. If you compare that to the province of Ontario, it's only about 12%. So we have 16.5% versus 12% over 65 years of age. We also know that as the population ages, the incidence of dementia will go up and up. So therefore, we know that we will have a need, a significant need, greater than that of our population in our province of Ontario. The Government of Ontario has produced a strategy called the Alzheimer Strategy for Ontario. The Alzheimer Society has been a stakeholder in that strategy development. They have a 10-point strategy, and that is operational at the present time. We locally have a very active chapter, a very active support from our particular workers, managers of the Family Support Program, manager of our educational program, along with their staff.
Not long ago, we were involved in an issue to help fundraise for the MRI clinic, which Don Ward just talked about seconds ago, and that was the MRI clinic in the Niagara Peninsula. And our Alumni Association committed $50,000, and we're able to do that, I think, over a 3-year period. Don Ward has asked us to help with this one, and Freddie and I talked a bit about it, and we agreed to raise $30,000 over a 5-year term, with one caveat, and that be that the room be named after a couple of good friends of ours. And when I say ours, I mean the Alumni Association. One was Ted Darling's, and the other is Jack Gatecliff, and obviously friends of both Don and Cookie, and most everybody here in the room knows who those people are. So it was an easy task for us to ask for it to happen, and I think it's going to be a nice touch to the building. Sheila Darling and her family still lives on the Buffalo side, so we're happy to do that. Claire Burnett is a very good friend of Ted and Sheila's, and she's here today to make sure we don't mess up, so she's keeping an eye on us. And that's pretty much all we have as the alumni has to say. Renee came in from Toronto specifically for this, and we get great support, and so a lot of other clubs are envious of how we're able to do things, and it's just quite frankly simple when you've got the support that we have in Buffalo. And pretty much that's it.
The obvious connection here for you is with Ted Darling, the former play-by-play man of the Buffalo Sabres. Can you share some of the memories you have of Ted?
Well, we have a lot. You have an hour? No, Ted became a very good friend, not only to me, but to the rest of the Buffalo Sabre family way back in the 70s when we played. And then when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer after we long retired from hockey, it touched each and every one of us. And we feel very fortunate to have played a game at the level we played and given a special talent that today is kind of special, that we can come back to the Niagara region and help raise some funds for a very, very worthy cause. So Ted, wherever you are, buddy, we'll have something for you.
Now, this is going to be an ongoing situation, and obviously you're more than happy to be here for each and every step.
We are. You know, like I said earlier, we live the dream that each and every young Canadian wishes he could live, and ours came through having played at the level that we played at. So today, as we're all retired and live our own lives, all we're asked to do is share a little bit of the wealth that they say, and if we can't do it, then we're not very good citizens, and all is required is our time, and we're more than happy to do so.
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Mr. Stanfield, you have a unique perspective on this. You knew both Jack Gatecliff and Ted Darling, and your memories of both gentlemen.
Well, you're right. When you call them gentlemen, they sure are, and they sure were, and they were good, close friends, especially Ted. Saw him every game, and we traveled together many years with the Buffalo Sabres. And Jack Gatecliff, he's been around forever, and he'll be part of us the rest of our lives. And he was a great man. And there's one sports writer that never knocked anybody, so he was a gentleman.
Now, your feelings on their names being attached to this building?
Well, that was part of our get up and go for this, you know what I mean? We talked to a lot of guys in the alumni, Larry Playfair and myself and the French Connection and many others, and they okayed it and they gave us the green light. So here we are, and it's our pleasure to be here and give something like this.
Now, this is going to be a long journey to get this completed, but I'm sure you're in for every step.
Well, like Don Ward said, we got a good team. So when you have a good team, you just go up and up, keep going up that ladder and get the job done.
All right, best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
Some of your memories of Ted Darling.
Ted, we had so much fun with him. He was a great man to be around, and of course, it was with his voice. You know, we used to make a lot of fun with that too. You know, on the road, and was a great man, and we really missed him.
Now, any particular stories? Anything fun happened maybe on a flight back that you can remember?
Well, you know, Ted, you know, sometimes he used to tell me, you know, why don't you shoot the puck, you know, and because you try to set up plays all the time, and in one way he was coaching me a little bit, so he was a great friend, great friend.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.